What up, Wastelanders? Christopher here, Gaslands, NorCal. Thanks for joining me once again for another video. You notice I didn't say conversion because this time we're doing bikes. And obviously with all these bikes, they are either 3D printed or they are the ones that are put together from the implements of Carnage, sprues. We'll talk about some of those. The bases I have here are just some simple plasticard that were pretty easy to take apart because they have the little ridges on here. You can really measure how big the base is supposed to be. According to the book, base is 30 by 20, so these are all about 30 by 20. I even have a quad going on. Sure, it's not a bike per se, but he looked like, he wanted to be among the bike gang, and that's how he identified, so that's what we're gonna do. So for the paints, I'm mainly gonna be using Army Speed Painter, just because it's going to be a little easier to get in all the cracks and crevices and whatnot. And honestly, miniature painting is not really my favorite. I'm not really good at it. That's why I like Gaslands so well, because if you screw up, it's rust or whatever. So first off, let's get these things all based, and then we'll get them primed, and then we'll start getting them painted. Let's get it done. Alright, so we're all primed up and based up and everything ready to go. Not looking too bad. Obviously not doing a whole lot of modification with these, just gonna paint them. Like I said, I don't even propose to be a miniature painter, so I'm gonna do my best. Kind of go over some of the strategies and stuff that you can use with bikes. They're obviously a lightweight vehicle. They don't have a lot of build slots, unless you have a sidecar. But they don't cost a whole lot. Not every sponsor can use them. Rutherford can't use them because they're lightweight vehicles, but a lot of other sponsors can, like Idris. Yeah, they can be used to really, really good advantage. But yeah, we'll cover some of that as we go along. But since I have so many of these, I'm gonna kind of do them in a assembly line kind of thing. So first off, I'm gonna just paint all of the wheels, obviously black, and then I'm actually going to go through and do a black wash, kind of over all of each one of them, to kind of see where all my details and stuff are at, and see what specific areas I need to paint, what colors and stuff. I am going to kind of pivot and use contrast and stuff instead of using the Army Speed Painter. I just find that these are easier to fill in some of the gaps and everything. So yeah, let's get the wheels all painted up, and we'll wash them up, and then we'll see where we're at and where we need to go. Alright, so tires are all painted up, and you got the wash on there, and you can see the wash really brings out where the details and stuff are at, so we know where we need to go with everything else. Looking really cool. I like this guy. He's got like a battle dagger or something going on right there. So yeah, looking really good. Gonna get some detail work on there. Next, we're gonna be doing the silver on all of the metallic parts. Again, doing kind of an assembly line, just to get through these a little bit faster. Like this guy, got the additional crew member on there, the hand grenades. So another of the things that the motorcycles can do, only in first gear though, is they can pivot. So if they're sitting like that, they're in first gear, they can beep, beep, instead of having to follow a template, which makes it really cool. You can kind of get out of the way of things. If they're in front of you, turn sharper corners or whatever. If you're not starting off, like the beginning of a race or a death match or whatever, you're going to need to obviously shift down or, to get back to first gear so you can pivot. But you know what, let's get the silver on there for the first batch, and then we'll move on to a little more colors and details and everything else. But let's get these things all shiny. Alright, so we got some shiny bits all painted up for the like the engines and whatnot. The spokes inside the wheels and everything. Not looking too shabby so far. Next, we're moving on to more of the coloring for the bodies, and I'll get the boots and stuff painted up. I think I'm gonna kind of shift into doing these in kind of teams. So these guys over here will be a team since they both have the same kind of helmets and facial gear and stuff. These two from Implements Carnage. I think I'm going to do a highway patrol team. So I'm going to do these in white and see if I can get some lights painted on there somewhere. These guys are going to be kind of running solo, so we'll see how these guys turn out. This guy's got like full body armor and stuff. So with some of the more flat spaces, I'm going to get some water slide decals on there. I've got a bunch from Thomas Wynn Studios. I've got some from Rust Belt Customs, and then I even have some Warhammer ones, so we'll see which ones kind of fit on there and which ones I can get to work and stuff. So let's start getting some bodies and everything painted on there, and yeah, we'll see how they turn out. Alrighty, got some colors going on, a little orange and blue on these guys, the decal looking pretty good. Gonna do a little more with the grenades and stuff. This guy's a little more basic. Got the darker color. I'll add some more detail stuff on his armor and everything to make that kind of pop out. Got the police bikes. Decals turned out pretty good. Nice shiny helmets and everything. Then we got the green machine going on, just some different shades of green and whatnot. It's got a lot of detail and stuff on his armor. I'm gonna finish that off with some panel liner to really make that pop. And then I'm going to work on the bases and stuff. Don't want to leave them a flat gray, especially with this coarse earth stuff. Blacken up the edges and stuff and do a little bit of dusting, and then these babies will be ready for the wastelands. Alrighty, and there we have it. Half a dozen or so bikes ready for the wastelands. Got the base and everything else going on, a little detail work and everything. Turned out really cool. For not liking to do miniatures and whatnot, yeah, pretty pleased with this. One thing of note, if you drop one of your guys and he has an arm and it breaks off, make sure you glue it back on right. This guy, arm was backwards, but still turned out pretty cool. You can't really tell which side his fingers are supposed to be on, so hey, that works, right? One last little strategy note. Keep in mind that bikes can do a long in any gear. So if you put a nitro on a bike, you can go a long, long ways. So yeah, talk about a crotch rocket, big time. If you enjoyed this video, you learned something, do me a favor, hit that like button. My goal is to do weekly videos, whether they're vehicle builds, train builds, whatever. So if that's for you, hit the sub button below and ring the bell to get notified when new content drops. I do sell all my builds pretty inexpensively on my Etsy page, so if you want to pick something up, see what I've done, you can even request a custom build. Till next time, keep your foot on the gas and your finger on the trigger. Gaslands NorCal, signing out.